Welcome to the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's at his ideal weight if he were 10 feet tall, beef loaf. Never holding but always partaking, not hungry but will eat, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's aged and smells like a sharp cheddar, Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink.
Oh, shit, I wrote 3 blogs this week.
If My Sock Summer talks about bobbleheads or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink.
Get ready.
If I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. And if White Sox Dave mentions tailgates, Wally, and or Roman swipes, you drink. Dave, welcome back, man. How you doing?
How you guys doing?
We're doing
Fucking
good, man.
Terrific.
We're good. Way to deflect the question on how you're doing, though.
It's like,
I want to know how Ace is doing. Is Ace all right? Is he feeling good?
He's snoozing right next to me. He's good. He's got his medicine, and I don't think he'll be keep me up all night. Only I got you 4 months instead of that 1 month keep me up all night. I'm doing it again because I said I'm looking at one of you guys. You 3 months to keep me up all night. That's weird. Whatever.
All right, man. Beef, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. I was thinking, as we're inching up towards, the first time we're going to be 100% capacity at Sox Park, kind of feels like real life is coming back. And with that, we're getting to the summer. And it's summer concert season, basically. And concerts are starting to happen again, which is kind of cool,
They are.
I've seen some stuff about, tickets going on sale for certain concerts and such. And it got me thinking, Trees, you're going to remember this little story. But our friend, Dr. Feelgood, who is a real-life doctor. I mean, I'm not lying. He is a real-life MD. One time when we were teenagers, maybe we were just at college age, he went and saw Hootie and the Blowfish, right? and he went with a group of friends that were friends of ours, but we didn't go. And Treasy and I just busted his balls mercilessly about it. And he gave the bullshit excuse like, they gave me a free ticket. That's why I went to the show, So it got me thinking about summer concerts or just concerts in general that we've all been to. And I was thinking, what's a concert that you are kind of embarrassed to admit you actually attended? And I'm willing to start. I think I'm sure Treasy's got a bunch of them. I'm interested in the wife and I, Mrs. Beef and I, about, let's say 18, 19 years ago, went and rocked our asses out at the Congress to see Three Doors Down. Man. Kryptonite was my jam back then, baby. And at this point, I'm almost embarrassed to say I was at that show. At least it was at a cool venue, but maybe not necessarily a cool band. How about you guys? Treasy, what about you? You got one that you're totally embarrassed to even mention that you went to?
So you know what's fun? It's not that I'm like totally embarrassed about this, but I saw Alanis Morissette like 7 or 8 times because she was on like every show. So like I would go to like there'd be like, oh, we're this big show at the Taste of Chicago.
The Jingle Ball.
I'm sure like the headliner was terrible too, but it was probably like the Goo Goo Dolls or something. But like Alanis Morissette was on the bill, and then I'd go to like Twisted Christmas or whatever they had.
That's what it was. I was there too.
Yeah, and I
high as fuck.
I've and here's why it's embarrassing, because I don't think Alanis Morissette's terrible by any means, but I absolutely know that I have been in a mosh pit during an Alanis Morissette song.
No way.
And I think that's the most embarrassing part. No, remember when you'd go to like Twisted Christmas, everyone got a mosh pit. Soul Asylum had a gigantic mosh pit. And it was just like, why? Why is this happening?
I feel like we were at the same Twisted Christmas.
We were.
Was White Zombie there?
Yes, and so
At Oasis?
I won't tell you who I went with because I don't want to incriminate them. But I was on a tremendous amount of drugs. Like I remember we were doing
that's a good story. We can't tell it on air, but that's a good story.
So all I'll tell that I was on some stuff and I'm like walking around with my buddy and we're just like lost. We just don't even know where the concert is at this point. And I'm like, let's go through here. And it was like snowing that night. I opened up the door. It was a door to outside and like just snow came flying at me. That was the most terrifying moment of my life.
Did you think that the concert was like outside the door?
I didn't know where it was.
Oh, the show's out here, guys.
I didn't know where
we're all gonna
was.
walk to this little doorway and go see fucking White Zombie.
But White Zombie was awesome. I remember I went
good.
back into the pit for White Zombie, which was a terrible idea, but it was a lot of fun.
They were good. Alanis Morissette, though, I remember that. That wasn't good at all.
Well, Dave, how about you, man? Terrible concert.
I feel like I'm being trolled right now. I really do.
Why?
Are you a huge Alanis fan?
Jagged Little Pill is a fucking incredible album. Like, and there is not any me joking about that.
Like I said, I don't hate Alanis Morissette, but moshing to Alanis Morissette is just that's weird.
Dave, I kid you not. No, Tracy is right. We saw Alanis Morissette for free at the Taste of Chicago, and it was kind of right as the first song was coming out. That was a humongous hit, and it was like she wasn't really known yet. And then the whole field there was just fucking jam-packed because it was her. It was like, oh, shit, this is someone with a gigantic radio hit there. It was like a shock that she was, as part of that bill. I don't even remember if she was the headliner, Treasy, was she?
No,
right? It was someone else.
And I'm trying to think of who it was, and it's killing. Oh, it was the Gin Blossoms.
Gin Blossoms, yes.
Gin Blossoms.
Don't one of those bands that play at, like, Ribfest in Naperville? Like, that hits 20 years ago, but now they're doing fucking Naperville, like, little city things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, Cracked Review by Hootie is, like, I would go to that concert tomorrow.
Fucking Dave.
I would not go with you, Dave.
What you guys are, like, this nothing embarrassing about any of these.
Dave, I mean, we grew up with alt rock and all this shit. Hootie was some weak ass shit compared to what we were listening to. That's why it was kind of funny, you know. Like that's just the era, you know. Like I told Mrs. Beef that she's like, oh yeah, Hootie, I'd go see Hootie. I'm like, I know you would, but Teresa and I would not go see Hootie. You know, it was not us back then. You know.
Our Jagged Little Pill, Dave, was Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses.
That's right, baby. That's right.
So, I mean, it's just a little different. Like,
so
you know,
Dave,
that kick-ass album in 6th grade was Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Dave, give us what you're embarrassed about. What were you embarrassed about?
Me shit about it last summer. I was supposed to go see Maroon 5 at Wrigley, and I got those tickets the second they were on sale.
Yeah, that you should be ashamed of that.
No, I should not be ashamed of that. I could not wait to go to that fucking concert. It was on June 14th. I remember the day. And June 14th, I woke up. I'm like, I should be getting ready to go to Wrigley to watch Adam Levine and Maroon 5, and I'm not. And my entire summer is ruined.
Yes. Yeah, but you're not embarrassed of that. You got to pick one that you're embarrassed of.
I can't say, like, growing up, like, it was – so when I was in elementary school, kind of maybe middle school, when, like, NSYNC and the boy bands were a huge thing. And I remember all the boys would act like they hated those bands, even though every one of us secretly loved them. But I was like, I never went to any one of them. So I've never gone to a concert, like, out of – like dragged to one by a girl that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here.
I haven't. But it wasn't. It was Moody Blues. But it wasn't even that bad, but I fell asleep.
Nothing wrong with the Moody Blues. You fell asleep?
I fell asleep. It was
How
that like
were you?
It was like I was pretty stoned. I'm probably a little drunk. So that probably was the reason. But no, I have to have a little
Aiken at Joe's on Weed Street like 4 years ago.
Moody Blues?
Clay Aiken, he won American Idol or came.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just kind of happened to be there and didn't even realize he was playing, so I kind of watched him and I was like, oh, all right.
See, this is a show you're embarrassed about because you make up the story around it. I was just there.
I wasn't,
And then
I wasn't really trying to see him.
I kind of watched it. I kind of went backstage. I kind of made out with him.
Dave, honest to God truth, more fans at the Clay Aiken show or you guys with the NBA Jam thing?
Dude, I couldn't believe that. That was the last fun I had at a bar until like whenever, March or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like 2 weeks before everything shut down. Well, then
I remember.
Day, but
it was like a month. It was like a month before everything shut the fuck
was
down. I remember.
probably the most fun I've ever had at anything we've done. I thought that was
I hate when this gets brought up because I didn't get to go to this, and these two assholes weren't going to go, and I was like, you guys need to go to this because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. You need to be there. And they're like, all right, Chris, do you want to go? And they're like, yeah.
It was the last big fun Dave had. It was the last time you were right. It was what an occasion.
I mean, listen, that's not a lie. So you're correct on that. It's 100% correct.
All right, but before we move on, My Sock Summer, give us a real one because you gave us a
no. This is
one. Let's go.
So here's the caveat, though. So like the worst and most embarrassing one that I went to that I didn't pay for was 100% the Backstreet Boys. Like I went to a Backstreet Boys show, but I didn't pay for it because back in the day, get ready to drink. I used to live out west. I don't know if you guys know this, but I worked for Alice Cooper at his restaurant, which is right across the street from America West Arena. So we would get all of the concerts in there. And like they had a string going. Like they didn't have Britney Spears, but they had like Christina Aguilera and like the MILFs at the restaurant before that concert were just off the charts. Off the charts. I was like, I'm a young 23, Dave. I was like, oh my God. I could marry up with this one of those 45-year-olds like in a second.
You could have used a Roman swipe.
I could have.
Oh man, drink again.
Quick.
Drink again.
So we went to the Backstreet because like what they would do is they would trade tickets like with other people if they had better seats or whatever, and then try to sell them. And because we had a suite at the restaurant, and like when they wouldn't sell, they'd be like, "Do you guys want these? We can't sell them because no one's going to come in." So went in and watched like 5 songs by the Backstreet Boys and then left. But the one that I probably paid for, and then in retrospect was like,
I didn't want to hear the next one. The Backstreet Boys was good. That was.
He's like, I went in. I only watched 35 songs. Only watched 35 songs, and then I was out.
You have to pay for it, and I was not into it. I was not into it. I swear to you.
They had one ticket left for a suite for the Dixie Chicks one time. I went in for that. That was good. Like they were actually really good live. I was like, this is amazing, and it was like much more rock than what I would like was used to for the Dixie Chicks. But then we had tickets for the Black Crowes, and then they had that bombing down in Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City bombing. So the Crows went down there and had to pay like a relief show. So they gave us our money back, and at that point it was like, okay, you have money at Ticketmaster. So we bought tickets to Candlebox and the Flaming Lips, which was
summer.
Just.
I think I know.
I'm gonna break some huge news for My Sock Summer.
Were you on that show too?
Candlebox reunion tour coming. So get ready. Get right. Original lineup.
Oh, Candlebox.
They were like
they left like, you far behind.
The goofy. They were like the goofy band out of Seattle. They were like the pop rock band, I guess.
Like
pop alternative rock.
If you put it's kind of like if you put
it's a popular song.
Asylum and Sweatpants and then sent them to Seattle, you'd get Candlebox.
The only Runaway Train, right?
Yeah, Runaway Train is Soul Asylum.
That's Soul Asylum.
Because I remember like when that song came out, 95 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That song,
Runaway Train?
Yeah, not 93. Runaway Train.
Yeah, mid-90s.
That song I could probably sing right now, and I haven't heard that song in forever. That song verbatim, because it was the first song that was constantly on the radio that I can remember. It was like memory, that song.
It was in constant rotation. I remember that. Actually, Soul Asylum, good band live. I've seen them multiple times. So, My Sock Summer, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, and my kids are gone this week, so we've been purging a lot of the girls' stuff, and my wife keeps throwing stuff away, and I keep seeing it, and I'm like, you better fucking empty the garbage before the girls come home because they're going to get fucking mad when they see that you threw away some of their projects or this or that. And I'm like, I'm in my head. I'm worried that like they're gonna come home from this trip, and then like in like 15 years they're gonna be in therapy, and they'll be like, "We went to my aunt's house. We came home, and all our stuff was gone."
Yep.
But like the one shining point or one shining point on this though is that my wife has been in there and has removed 8 big boxes of shit, and it still looks full as fuck in there. So like I don't know if you did anything, but I know you did stuff because I see it. So like they're definitely going to be Jedi mind tricked on it. They'll be like, they have no idea that we've gotten rid of like 87 stuffed animals, and this is one thing. Just to throw it out there for new parents and whatnot, most of the stuff we're giving away and we're sending back to the thrift store was purchased at a thrift store. So like when my wife's like, should we get rid of this? And I was like, yeah. I bought it 4 years ago and I paid $3. So yes, it got its use out. So let's just give it back. But like if we wanted to get a new set of Duplos, it would have been $28. But I paid $3, did just as good. So that's a good point for you new parents out there. That's what you should be doing.
My
Go to them thrift stores.
You're right, though, to have a little bit of fear there. I remember when Bonita was younger and Mrs. Beef would want to throw shit out all the time. I'd stop her. And eventually I got to the point with Bonita where I would work with her about like, oh, you don't really, you really play with this anymore or whatever. And then she got good about getting rid of her own stuff. And there was none of those scenes right there. And I stopped them at the time. So you're fucked right now. You didn't stop nothing. You let it go. So you're complicit in this crime right here. All right? So the girls are going to be mad at you too, motherfucker. I'll remind them if I have to.
I'm sure you will because you're an asshole and a dick. But no, like there was 2 stuffed animals that I know have like significant meanings to both girls. I was like, you cannot throw these away. You cannot donate these. And we definitely can't donate them to the places that I normally donate to because we're going to go there and then they're going to see them and they're going to be like, oh my God, that's our stuff. Like,
it's got the marker on it that they drew on there.
It says Tess right on it. Oh shit.
You know what I can't wait for?
I
can't wait for my sock summer to go on like a weekend trip with me and you, Beef. We're like go somewhere, and then the next podcast we have, all the shit behind him, it's just a blank wall. Like there's all that shit just in the fucking garbage.
I would love it.
This is the good stuff.
Sure.
The cutout really will still be there, just with its head cut off, though.
No, how you doing, Treasy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I was gonna get into a little bit of a banter and stuff, but you know what? I really want to know. I want to know what you fellas are drinking.
Too much bullshit talking. Right now, I am drinking from our good friends at Goose Island. Fresh, got it today. Pineapple Shakedown. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, wow. That looks
good.
Nice.
It's a milkshake, a pineapple upside down milkshake IPA, which, okay, that's a lot just listening to it. But this is in conjunction with Old Irving Brewing Company, which is in, Irving. And it is just delicious. It's like, it's fucking goddamn sexual, but it's also 8%. So like I have to be very, very careful. They gave me an entire case of these today, and that came with the warning, watch those because they're dangerous, and they are definitely dangerous. It tastes so good. It's got a nice little haze to it. It's delicious. I have some other Goose Island in here that I'll be going at. Brewhand Luke dropped off a few brews today too, so I might get into some of those also.
Oh, damn.
Beautiful.
So you're just completely fucking shit-faced tonight is what you're saying.
Pretty much. I don't plan on getting to the gym before 8 o'clock tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe. We'll see.
The second ad read is going to be
it's going to be delicious. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Can't wait.
Dave, you got anything drinking over there, or you just dipping?
I will be completely frank. I'm really roasted right now.
Yes.
I wanted to be mellow, and I didn't want to, or not to brag, I got a Peloton, and I didn't do it today, so I didn't want to be pounding beer, so I'm like, I'll just pound this instead. So got a little edible action going.
Between you and MSS, I got to change this to what are you ingesting instead of what are you drinking?
I'm high right now.
Not today.
Allegedly.
I don't think you're going to need it today. It sounds like
be high tomorrow.
8%ers going. Beef.
Yeah.
Beef, what are you drinking, buddy?
I'm drinking
got a
red
fish bowl or
wine.
something?
Got some red wine going today, and it's actually a gift from you, Treasy, for my birthday.
Oh, wonderful!
That's from the Caduceus winery, and that's Maynard from Tool. He's the winemaker here, and this is the Naguala del Naga. It's 2016. It's a blend. It's 80% Sangiovese. So very tasty, man. It's I would love to have a bowl of pasta with this wine. I'll be honest with you, but
it's awesome right now.
it's delicious on its own.
I'm worried talking about food
the mic
right now. Yep.
How about you, Teresi? What you chugging down over there, baby?
So I got the off color brewing,
nice.
and I got the beer for tacos.
Beer for tacos.
You say tacos, and like Teresi's drinking it, right? I mean, like just say tacos, and I'm in. But it's actually it's got like lime and salt flavor. So this is like the good version of what Ken WO drinks. That's basically what this is.
So we have another beer that they gave us that I didn't bring it down. Fuck it. Let's just move on.
You screwed up.
It's the tequila barrel aged one.
Fucking ruined it.
It's like pineapple sunset. And it's like based off of like Mexican grocery store drinks. So like it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna have one tomorrow night. The guy at Goose told me today, he's like, you won't drink it like I drink it. And I go, how do you drink it? Because maybe I want to drink it that way. He goes, I drink it like it's a margarita. I salt the rim of my glass and drink it like that. And I go, he's like, put a little Tajin on there. It's the best. I'm like, we might fucking do that just to do it because you said I want it. So.
By the way, White Sox Sal, go fuck himself. That's all I can say about him.
What did he just say?
So
how's the tannin, asshole?
I didn't bring up tannin, all right?
I got a pharmacy.
And 3G Dave is like, yeah, I got a pharmacy.
You know what? He's making fun of my sleevelessness right now. This is how we do it, Dave, all right? I'm fat and I'm hot right now. I got to take this. I got a spotlight on me right now. I got to cool down, you know?
So we're going to try something new tonight before we get into the other stuff. But we're going to try this new thing, and we're going to see if my summer can transcribe this, but we'll give it a whirl. So what we're going to do is we're going to put up a poll, and since the show's 7 hours, it'll probably be done by the time we get to the end here. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to answer it first because I'm going to take the best answer. Best summer song of all time. I want to get it from you. I'm going to steal the GOAT summer song, which is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Fuck
Summertime.
you can't even do that.
So you guys got to beat that one.
I can beat it.
Go
all right. I got to beat him for sure. So a great summertime song. I remember everyone was fucking bumping it in their cars when it came out. From the Above the Rim soundtrack, Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg. That song is going to kick summertime's ass. I'll tell you that much.
Fantastic pick. Fantastic pick.
How do you spell regulate?
How dare you?
Dave, what do you got, man? What's your summer jam? And
when I read this morning, the song that immediately came to mind was "School's Out" for Summer, Alice Cooper, because it would just like out of instinct, you wouldn't even think to do it. As soon as that last bell rang for the last class heading into summer, you would just start like singing it to yourself.
Yes.
Second grade or graduating high school, you were always singing it to yourself, like not even out loud really, but you just be thinking it. So that one popped into my head. Then like I got two albums. I would say Closer to the Moon by Slightly Stupid or Still Dre. The Chronic 2, which has Still Dre on it.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, I'm trying to think like pair movies with songs for this. And I just got Training Day stuck in my head because they're in the hot LA heat. The like light filters are always orange on the camera to like signify heat. I don't know. That's the song that popped in my head.
I think School's Out for Summer is just a great,
it does sort of have that mode for you. You're right. When the year's coming to an end, especially when the last day, you're like, yes, fuck this thing, you know, like fuck school. I hope it burns down behind me kind of attitude, you know, like.
MSS.
You like that MSS or what?
Yeah.
MSS, what do you got, man?
awesome scene in Dazed and Confused with School's Out. Like the whole fucking thing just goes nuts. And then I don't know if you guys know, I mentioned it early, but I used to live out west. I also worked for Alice Cooper, and I got to stand stage right while he was singing that song, like on this little stage with like a cover band. It was the most badass thing ever. Dave, you tower over Alice Cooper. He is a little man, but he is just full of fight. Like I love this guy.
Rock stars are like 5'5".
Yeah, he's a little man.
Who's I reading? Like Mick Jagger. I think it might have been. I was like, or no, Ronnie Wood. I think it was. He's like 5'3".
Oh, that's just tiny.
Yeah.
That's how tall I was in fifth grade.
The other English guy. I forgot his name, but Brown Eyed Girl. Who sings Brown Eyed Girl? Irish.
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison. He's supposed to be super fucking short, like insanely short.
And he's a little fat,
but gorgeous. Just a
beautiful man. Beautiful man. So I'm going to go with something that you guys might not know, but I used to live out west. I know I just said it, but I just wanted to bring it up again. California by Tupac and Dr. Dre. Probably one of my favorite fucking summer songs ever, just because it just is the best. So I put that up. How long are we going to do this for? We're going to do 108 minutes?
Yeah, 108. So
that's
hour and 48 minutes. So I'm actually a little shocked, to be honest.
What'd you think? I know what you think I was going to pick, but I'm not.
No. I'm more shocked from Dave. I thought for sure we're going to get a Sublime song.
Well, I was going to Sublime. That's like perfect summer music. Like sit on a pontoon boat and just blast Sublime.
Yeah,
that was absolutely in my head. But
it's almost like the whole album. It's not just the one song. And like you remember, Treasy, like when the summer that came out. We were playing that fucking thing constantly at parties and everything. I mean, remember that?
I got one that just popped into my head. Amos Lee, Windows Are Rolled Down. I remember when I lived out west, I drove from Phoenix to Las Vegas, and like I'm driving through the fucking desert going 110, and that song was playing in my head, and I played it on Spotify because it just seemed like summer.
Damn.
I don't even know what song that is.
I don't either.
I think Dave needs to sing it for me so that I can know what it is.
You guys might not like it, but you've heard it.
Okay. I'll check it out tonight.
I like Amos Lee. I don't know the song specifically, but I like him, so I would like it. Yeah.
I just know Windows Down, System Up. We don't give a fuck or something like that.
So we got that poll up.
Put the poll out there right now. 12 votes in. I have Summertime is killing at 58.3%.
Let me vote so I can get back in this.
We will see how it goes, but in the meantime, hey, my sock summer, man. Guess what? Need you to pay some bills.
Did you guys know that in addition to new cars, Mazda of Orland Park has a bunch of Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles? Yep, they do. What's that mean? Mazda certified. Well, I thought you'd never asked. Only the best maintained late model vehicles make the Mazda certified pre-owned CPO vehicle cut. To be eligible, they must pass a rigorous 160-point inspection from major to minor components. Each vehicle is scrutinized and tested, so you can feel confident and enjoy every drive in your Mazda with an elevated state of being, mile after mile. You also get a 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty, a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and finally, a zero deductible on all covered parts. All the benefits of buying new, but without the price. So if you're looking for a used car or even new, get your ass down to Mazda of Orland Park and let them show you some of the options. It was good enough for Teresi, Adam Eaton, and Adam Engel, all guys with juicy doubles, so why not give them a try? Give them a follow over at Zoom Zoom Nation and check out their worldwide webpage, MazdaofOrlandPark.com. They are a Carfax top-rated dealer and take advantage of that $500 discount for Sox fans. Fuck Cubs fans. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom, baby.
All right.
Oh, beautiful. That was great. You know, Treasy, when he did the Zoom Zoom, he reminded me a little bit of the Wiz. He's like, I'm the Wiz.
Oh,
so like, I had a little bit of that vibe in there, you know?
That's 8%, bro.
Listen, McGregor strut.
we went to Ballpark Pub before the game or for the podcast tonight. Me and the wife went out and got a burger, and I had 2 beers there, and now I'm having the 8%er. So listen, I'm well on my way to having a fantastic evening, fellas. So let's get started with some White Sox baseball talk.
I gotta say real quick though, that was an unbelievable ad read. When it goes hard, I do them and I just fuck them up completely.
You do a good job though. I think they're entertaining. I don't know what it was. It was 2 weeks ago because I was at it was the last, not this most recent podcast, but the last one. And I don't remember you guys doing a pot. And the read was so great. It was just the best. And it was the Roman swipes thing. And then you worked in Beef Loaf, and that's where it got good. Like Beef Loaf, he stole it, and he was he looked at it like he was going to share with me, and I was that was the greatest. And then it worked all the way around, and it's that was a great episode. And I tweeted it.
He took it out and showed it to me, so to speak. And I thought he was sharing it with me. I'm not trying to wheeze your juice, Dave. I thought you were giving a free sample,
I could get them whenever. I thought I might have needed it that night. You can have it tomorrow.
Bring an extra one to the tailgate. Well, then I can experiment with one.
So guys,
not during the tailgate, by the way.
Before we get into baseball talk, we did miss a huge summer song. I'm gonna put it in the comment here underneath us right now.
Okay.
I know. I saw that.
Yep.
I saw that before I picked, and I was like, I can't do it because that would be rude. Because
that's a great summer track. Great summer track. But you know what time it is, guys? It's time for some baseball
talk.
Yes, and
get out of here.
And I'm excited because to me, this coming weekend is the real opening weekend because it's going to be the first weekend we're back in the 108. All right. So I'm super excited for this. I don't know. I might make love to my seat. I'm that excited to be back in my seat. It's been far too long. It's been, what is it, man?
2019.
20 months, something like that.
Something like that. 21 months, something like that.
It's been a while. So, but before we get into talking about all the things that we're thinking about with full capacity, Dave, I know we got some deals going for some tickets. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about that, I'm going to drop the links in the comments here on the YouTubes. So if anyone wants some of these tickets, you could get down on this.
Yeah,
so Dave, what do we got going? Yeah.
Long story short, not even 2 weeks ago, I hit up the Sox and I'm like, hey, I want to make sure that this stadium is as full as possible. And if you guys are worried about not selling out potentially, let me rally the troops and we'll put a ticket deal out there. They got back to me an hour later. They're like, we can get you links tomorrow. And because I want the world to see that we don't fuck around when we have good teams here, Mm-hmm. And so we've sold over 700. It's going to probably tap into thousands, I'm hoping. But $30, you can pick Friday, Saturday, or Sunday games, all three, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, doesn't matter. And they're down to both by you guys in 108. It's one, I think, 110 to 112, and then 151 to 153 or something. Like 30
110. That's where I put all the assholes in 110. Yep.
That's where we were.
That's where I put us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we want tickets. They're all on my pin tweet, whatever bullshit.
And it's supposedly the fees are less on FIVO, right, than they are in Ticketmaster. That's what I've heard. It's a less processing fee.
Oh,
I've heard
nice.
that.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because processing fees are nuts.
Hey, Sal, I see your fucking comment, dude. I got a new modem. I haven't froze up one fucking time, you
That's
bitch.
true. That's true.
Shut the fuck up, Sal.
It would have been great if you would have froze right during that.
It would have been.
Would have been tremendous.
My eyes crossed and my tongue sticking out, Yeah.
Would have been absolutely perfect.
So how are you guys feeling about full capacity? I'm going to kick it around. I'll start with Beef Loaf. I bet Beef Loaf's got some gripes.
Well, I don't know if they're gripes, but obviously I'm thrilled because we're going to be back in our own seats. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Maybe it makes me a little bougie, but I'm done with being in the middle of the fucking row, okay? I'm a big fat ass, and I got an aisle seat for a goddamn reason, all right? And I've been in that aisle seat for a decade, and I want to get back to that fucking aisle seat because I need my extra leg room. I need one of my ham hocks out in the aisle, and that's get a little cross breeze, and then I feel better at the game. So I'm done with this middle of the aisle shit. And then you know how it does with us. Everyone comes and sits around. So next thing you know, I'm stacked all up in there, and I'm fat and hot. So I really excited to be back in our area, but I have a couple things that I'm just a little bit concerned about with going back to 100%. The first one is one that, MSS and I have been beating the drum on. There's no beer vendors coming down to the seats. So the lines for beer and food have been obnoxious when there's been even a decent crowd. I mean, when we got 18, 19,000 in there either on the weekends when we were at 60%, or even the Monday, Tuesday against Tampa, the lines are ridiculous. Now, the 108ers may or may not be able to jump the line certain places, but that shouldn't count, okay? That shouldn't matter. I'm talking for all of us regular fans. That's bullshit. And the other thing is, what I don't want people, not a lot of people listen to this podcast, or not enough to spoil this just yet, but don't tell anyone about the ability to order from the app and get the beer brought right to you, all right? Shut the fuck up about that. I don't want anyone talking about that out there, okay? Let us do that for a while until they're comfortable enough to get the beer vendors down there, okay? So that's one, clearly. Like, the consumption, it's difficult to get even to get a hot dog. The fucking line for a hot dog was 25 people deep. And it was like, there's no need for this. I mean, what the fuck, But I think it's just not having vendors going down. And I don't know if there's still like a health concern, like they don't want to do that, or if it's like they're shorthanded with the amount of vendors, or what the deal is. But they're going to have to rectify that soon.
You know what, though, Beef? Like you mentioned it. And hey, look, this is why people should listen to this podcast. We're going to give you the tips about being in the park, man. That in-app ordering that comes to your seat, that shit's amazing.
That's huge.
I was getting beers in like 4 to 5 minutes. Like it's like texting a guy to bring you a beer, and you pay through your phone too. So it's an imaginary money. You don't even have to think about it.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't even count.
Yeah,
doesn't even count, man.
No. Just change your identity, and they'll never have to pay that. I mean, that's
exactly. That's someone else's debt.
That's someone else's debt. The next thing, we're going to do a little tailgate. We're going to talk about that in a little while on Saturday. But tailgating is going to be back. I got to tell you guys something. Okay, now. I'm not a consumer of marijuana. I know some people on this podcast are, and that's fine. I'm all for everyone consuming everything.
I'm looking at Dave, and I'm sure he's not.
But even with no tailgating, ever since marijuana became legal and we would go to games, man, you could smell skunk weed goddamn everywhere. And I'm really nervous that the tailgate is just going to smell like utter shit. It's going to smell like a goddamn fish concert. It's going to just be this cloud of crap. Because it's not generally good weed, Treasy. I'm not a weed guy. But you can smell the difference between the good shit and the skunky bullshit, and it's usually the skunky bullshit.
Well, some of the skunky bullshit is very good. That's the thing.
That's the thing
that you got. Yeah. So because you don't.
If it smells like a skunk, it's good shit.
I don't smoke it.
Typically pretty good. Yeah. But some of it you could tell there is definitely some dirt weed getting smoked around the park. But at the end of the day, I think the weed is probably getting better and better since it's legal, right? Yeah. So there's competition and like there's they want to charge a shitload for it too, right? Like so you got to make it good. Yeah. But I think you're definitely going to see a lot more people smoking at tailgates. Now, here's the problem.
Here's
the thing.
With weed?
If people are just going to smoke or people are just going to drink, you're going to be all right. But we're going to see a lot of people who are going to be drinking. Their buddy's going to be smoking, and they're going to be like, oh, let me get a hit of that. That's not going to end well for that guy. I'm just going to, especially if you're not a smoker, and then you're just like, you know what? I'll take a little hit before we go into the park, and then I'm going to see you sleeping in the bathroom. That's how that goes every time. It doesn't. There's no different way that ends. So another tip we'll give you is if your buddy is like, hey, do you want some of this? And you've just had 8 beers and you don't smoke weed, you don't want any of that. As tempting as it seems,
probably don't.
You are gonna vomit in the concourse and then pass out in the bathroom. That's your day.
This is something even better than I thought.
We're going to take pictures of you because we're assholes, and we're going to put them on the internet.
That's 100% true. I can vouch for that portion of it.
Potentially a shirt to be later sold by Dave in the bar stool. Sure. Yep.
Absolutely.
It's like hot box time, lot B, fuckers. And with a picture of a dude like all fucked up in the porta-john. The shit, man.
And my absolute last concern, and it doesn't apply to any of the 108ers or anyone in this podcast or anything, but the pandemic happened, okay? Mm-hmm. And some of you got used to only showering twice a week, all right? That's a no-go, okay? Now that we're going to be back in polite society, we're going to be crammed in there together. It's going to be hot as balls. You need to wash your ass. No whole baths. I want an entire fucking shower, okay? Take care of everything, undercarriage, all of it. You get your shit cleaned up before you're going to come back in the park with us, okay? Because it's going to get hot, and maybe not even this weekend. Maybe this weekend won't be as hot. But in the near future, it's going to get hot. It's going to get sweaty. I don't want to smell you. If you're going to come up and hang in the set, we don't need to ingest your you're supposed to ingest our pheromones, not yours, okay? So wash your ass before you get on there. That's it. Otherwise, I think everything's going to be great.
Use your loofah. Use your loofah.
Use your loofah. That's right.
MSS, do you feel attacked by that last one?
No, sometimes I downright shower 2 times before I go to a game. Like I'm like, listen, I just did some yard work. Maybe I'm sweating out a hangover. I'm like, you know what? It's rude. And I also am the guy, and I know you guys probably are too. Are probably just not as gross as me. I will take a shower before I come down to do the Sunday soak sometimes, because I'm like, no, that's not nice.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, when it's bad, I say when it's bad. Like if I have like a long, like, you know, like when it was like not fall but spring still, and it wasn't like I wasn't sweating all day Saturday. Like maybe I don't take a shower before I come down to the Sunday soak. So come on, Jesus.
That's right. For you, Dave, I mean, I don't care if the shower doesn't take or if you want to take a shower nap. I mean, you could recommend your shower nap to people as part of this. That would be a thing that would work.
Well, that's what I mean. It's well documented that I have a very embarrassing moment where my shower didn't take. So now I overcompensate by showering like nonstop. I'm basically Kramer eating the salad in the shower.
That's good.
So
eat water while you're ingesting it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to talk shower naps, I could go for hours.
Now, do you have the patent on that, or is the patent pending right now on the shower?
It is pending. So
it's pending. Okay.
If you try to take this from me, I will sue. All my rich friends out in Wheaton all had saunas and shit. So in high school, when they were hungover, they'd go and sit in the sauna and steam themselves out or whatever. And I'm like, fuck. So I would do the same. But I would just close the door, turn the shower as hot as I could get it, and I would lay down in the shower with the lights out and just pass out a little bit and just sweat it all out, and you feel like $1 million. I don't care how weird that sounds. It is incredible. And people who know, they know.
Sweating is good for you. Gets the impurities out. That's what I've been told.
You should sell like those like tub mats that go at the bottom, but like that goes in the corner, and it's like shower nap here so that you don't drown. And then a little kind of like on a mouse, like a mouse pad when you got the little bump there for your wrist. You just put a little bump at the end for like someone's head so they could just like sleep on it.
It's like a little pillow.
I'll be like a billionaire like the My Pillow guy.
You could sell fucking 100 billion. You'll sell dozens of those, man. Trust me.
Potentially less of an asshole than the My Pillow guy, but
I'd like a little bar stool shower cap for the shower nap, and it's got like a silhouetted picture of Dave on it.
It's a cowboy hat shower cap.
Man, these are just good idea after good idea rolling around.
You should be writing this down, Dave.
No.
Luckily, this
Dave will remember all of it.
It's in there.
I could tell he's going to remember all this. Dave, what are you thinking about full capacity? You excited? What how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I'm in 99%. I love it. I can't wait. This is what we do in the summers, and it's going to be the first time it's like 1,000% normal. That said, I was at Halligan's like a week ago. Don't make fun of me for hanging out at 23-year-old bars. I get it. That's why I do it. But there was like 1,000 people in there, and I was like shoulder to shoulder. I'm like, I wish we could go back to like 25% capacity.
Yeah.
Even though like half my friends are in the service industry and it gutted them, but like me, that was all right.
Yeah, I get it, man. Like I
guess.
I see the full capacity bars and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I wish I could just like have like 3 people up there, walk right through them, get my drink, get back to my seat. But yeah, it's. I mean, that's the same thing Beef was talking about. It's going to be rough trying to get drinks. So I would say, Dave, try that app.
Oh, I will be doing the app constantly now. And actually, you guys I get the shtick here, but I will not be telling anybody about this. Anybody about this. Yeah.
Keep that quiet until people start really realizing. Let them find out on their fucking own.
Yeah, then we just go and get in line, and there's nobody there. They're all ordering brewery guys.
Because if I know anything, the White Sox don't have that thing fully staffed, and it's gonna. The more people that use it, it's gonna bog it fucking down, and then it's gonna break, and then like your 5 minutes turns into 5 innings, and then like then you might never get it. Because didn't they try this in like 2019? And you guys ordered beers one time to the seat, and they just like
never showed up.
Never showed up.
Never
got an email. Never got anything.
The game fucking ended. I was sitting there like a skeleton, just like collecting dust.
You're like, no, wait, my beer's coming. They said it is. It's like that Luis Robert ball for the Canapolis Boomers or whatever the fuck those motherfuckers are that didn't send us our shit.
Came as slow as someone all swiped up, man. I'll tell you.
Allegedly.
MSS.
We don't know for sure,
MSS, what are you feeling about the full capacity?
First off, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I upgraded in 2019 or like right at the beginning. Yeah, it was right at the end of 2019 to a seat in the 108. You guys were generous and said, you need to be sitting here. Let's get you in here. We got in there and made the upgrade, and I have not sat in my actual seat. I've owned it now for since November 2019 or December 2019, and I've never sat there. I mean, I've sat there, but it's never legally been my seat. And now, and then I had to wait a whole year to like come back, and then we get back in, and I still can't sit there. And I'm looking over there, and I see people sitting in it, and I'm like, they're fucking it up already. Like, I want to be the one that breaks the right brace first. I don't want somebody else to do that. I want to be the one that does it. I will be.
What's funny is like
might already be broken.
We're gonna walk down to the section on Friday because we're gonna be late, just like we always are.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get close to the seats, and there's gonna be no one in the section except one motherfucker, like Pigpen, with a cloud of like you were talking about, Beef. He's got like a cloud of dirt around him. There's fucking flies and everything in my Sox Summer seat. He's gonna get up, and you're gonna smell that guy for the whole game.
Yep.
Yes, I can't wait.
These are just the things I wish for you, my Sox Summer, because I love you.
I'm only 2 rows in front of you, assholes, so you're probably going to smell it too, just so you know. I know how smells carry there, sitting next to the grate over in 110. Like, you get a lot of belches of the sewer, like right in your face while you're watching baseball.
That's right.
So, but nothing really could have brought me down. So me getting back in the seat is my number one like thing that I love, right? I'm going to be upset because I'm missing those showboat seats in section 110. Like, we were front row in 110. So like when anybody hit it into the right field corner, there was fat MSS right there yelling at the guy trying to get the ball and like just looking as fat as fuck on TV. Like, I could not have looked any fatter. I was like the game that I got on the most, I was wearing a white shirt too, so it made it even worse. like who is this Marshmallow 108 guy? Who the fuck is this guy? It's my Sox Summer, and he is taken. He is married. But the biggest thing that was concerning me in 110, which I don't have to worry about as much in the 108, is the differing levels that were down there at the bottom of 110. Because there was like a right below the seat, there was probably 3 foot. And then there was a drop of 2 inches. And then there was another 1.5 feet, and then another drop of 2 inches. I narrowly fell every time I got out of my seat. As the beers stacked up, I almost fell over. So I'm happy that I didn't turn an ankle. Luckily, Wally didn't sit down there very much because he would be the one that would turn his ankle because he can't walk on flat surfaces, much less varying different sizes. But yeah, but I'm also not going to miss having to run up the entire fucking staircase to go take a piss or get a
You're not kidding. I mean, when we were sitting down there, MSS, all I could think was, these should be fucking escalators, all right? Why the fuck I got to run all the way to the top up here?
You guys should have just pissed in that sewer. Like, they give you a sewer right there.
Could have given you a little better stand in front of you.
It would have smelled better. It would have smelled better. That's all I have to say.
Was that?
But no, I'm looking forward to that.
a hose to it.
Yeah,
Put a hose on it and then put it in the sewer.
I'm saying a catheter like a dick hose.
I don't want it. No.
You don't even have to leave your seat and worry about all
Just
those
run
things.
it. Yeah, just run it all the way along the. Tape it down. Oh, you can tape it down to the floor too, so it just runs right in there. You just never. Have to
Whoa! You don't want to
Like you're
tape something that
TV on the wall.
is needled into your stuff.
You don't want it loose. You don't want it loose out there.
The most dangerous game. Yeah, but you don't want to.
God.
You don't want to jump up for a score. And, wow.
Yeah. No.
This guy's dick was ruined by a Yasmani Grandal home run.
A walk-off single. Yeah. Walk-off single. Lost a nut.
It'd be even worse. It'd be a Larry Garcia warning track fly ball. Ruined your dick.
You misjudged.
I am also going to be in the on the aisle, which is beautiful. I am also not looking forward to the lines, but as Loaf said, we might have circumvented that, which is so happy. It makes me so happy. And if somebody sees us doing that and gives me shit, I can't wait to fucking rip you apart to your face and be like, where were you in April when these people needed somebody to buy beers from them? You were not here. We were here, and we bought them beers. And then we tip them. So that's how you get good service, people. That's just a reminder. If you want to go back somewhere, fucking tip those motherfuckers because they will take care of you if you take care of them.
You're damn right.
Oh yeah,
Timothy,
Hey,
that is the kind of comment that gets framed and put up on my wall.
Quick thing here. I'm drinking. It's called a paintball fight, which is a kettle sour ale from a brewery. Brewhand Luke wrote a blog about them. The Skeleton Key Brewery. They were the brewery that got they destroyed their entire tap room in that tornado that just went down. So they're out in Woodridge, Illinois. So you can't go there. But if you go to our blog, go under beer. You can go and donate some money to help them get their tap room back up and open. Goose Island donated $2,500. I know Microphone Brewery set up the whole thing. So there's a bunch of people in the brewer community that are putting money in there. So if you have a few bucks, please do it. But yeah, this is a kettle sour. I haven't tried it yet, so let's try it. I love sour, so let's see.
I mean, you just sold me. That sounds.
Oh wow, that's good. And this is why I like sours.
Test.
This is why I like sours.
My neck of the woods too. That's
fantastic. It's like a sweet, but also a little salty. And I don't know I don't know how that works, but that's just how it works with sours. Like a Gose sour, those kind of things. There's a saltiness to it, and it's fucking light. And if it's really hot as balls, this is a delicious drink too. But yeah, this is good. And I think it's only. Yeah, it's 4.5%. That's why I backed this up after the 8%er because I'm like, I gotta take it down and then I'll pump it up for the next one. But this one's pretty good. So that's Skeleton Key Brewery. Looking for the GoFundMe and go to our blog and you find that. So thanks, Brewhand Luke, for bringing this out.
Oop. So the last comment I'll make on the 100% capacity is that I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be about the same or maybe even a little bit better. And here's why I think that. Because I think they'll staff up a little bit more on the lower level to handle the amount of people that are coming in. But I looked around those last couple days that we were there. The bottom, the lower deck, was almost full already.
Yeah.
Where they cut out all the seats was upstairs. So the upstairs, if you sit upstairs, it's gonna fucking suck. Going 100 capacity, trust me, you just sneak downstairs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be you. Hey, yeah, you could find a way. I'll teach
you guys posted that blog today.
What's that?
The interview, get to know you blog. You guys posted it today. That's my hack. You go through the fundamentals deck. If you're, in your 50s or whatever, you say you got a kid that they let you in. Then you just walk and hand the ticket taker a $10 bill to look at it and just you walk past.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could go to any gate and pull the Vegas trick, right? Like you hand the guy your phone with a few bucks attached to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just like, yeah, definitely got a ticket down here.
I see this.
508? No, that's 108, sir. Go right ahead.
When the most corrupt ticket taker on the history of the planet?
Oh my God, you give me 50 cents if I was a ticket taker, and I'd be like, "Hey, go through."
You're a
fine.
cheap.
You give me a 50-cent CD, and I'd love to go through.
Allegedly.
So this Saturday,
Yep.
what I'm hearing that we're gonna have the On Tap crew, we're gonna have the Sox on 35th crew, we're gonna have Dave, we're gonna have Lot B, and shit's going down. Dave, give us the lowdown on the Saturday tailgate.
Yeah.
Locked on Sox too, right?
I'm sorry.
Is Locked on there
Sox?
too?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I hit up everybody. I'm like, hey, like this is the scoop. Like, let's blow it out. So yeah, tailgate Lot B. It's BYOB. I don't know if anybody's going to be grilling. Like, I don't have a grill or anything to bring, but open invite. Doesn't matter. Come one, come all. That's all there is to it. Just BYOB. So
I love it.
Flags and everything flying out there. Just look for the mass amount of people. We're going to have like 500 plus people out there.
I might have about 2 cases of Sox Golden Ale that we can bring with us that pass out to the people because we need people to try it. We also have 312. I don't know if anyone's ever had 312 or the 312 Shandy, but we have some of those too that maybe if you're over 21, maybe we'll give you one.
Hey,
because
you know what? Here's what
how we do.
Here's what you do. You wear your 108 gear out to the parking lot. We know you want some of the Goose Island beer that we're gonna have.
I'll throw that beer right at you when I see you with that 108 beer.
And hey, so you don't got to worry about it. Dave's not throwing it. It's not gonna go like 70s.
Really hard. Yeah.
MSS is throwing it. We're going 50s, 60s. Right?
Well,
you could catch that. You can
maybe
catch
47.
that. NWO can hit it. You can catch it.
Yeah, maybe 47 if I'm feeling a little tired. Yeah, probably.
So I do hear there might be rain that day. So Dave,
you're right.
Let me know, man. Let me know. How much fucking rain would it take to keep us out of our first tailgate of the year?
I mean, all right. So I'm trying to think. It was absolutely pissing rain for the sale jersey day, and I was out. So it had to be worse than that.
I love it. So basically, a hurricane.
I was in the bullpen sports bar thing when the game got canceled because they let people in the stadium to booze up and everything, and then they canceled it, and it was pissing rain that day.
That's a very good call by Buzz right there.
Look at that. Look at that.
We got Summer or Scummer of George will be there on Saturday. That's gonna be
and Shane's gonna be grilling. The meat
Shane
man.
Grilling. Shane grilling.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together because but I see the comment there. Buzz set that up with Shane. Shane can fucking cook some meat. That's for goddamn sure.
Yes, he can. I can't wait to be in line with 18 other people trying to get a piece of that meat.
I'm gonna say this here only. If Shane tweet the guys how big your grill is or how big your guy's grill is, I'll pitch in $10-$20 or whatever for Shane to whip up burgers like a piece,
Yeah,
sounds good. I'm down with that too. I'll kick in some dough.
If I have no problem with Shane working my meat, I'll get in on that too.
He's a professional after all.
He is. He's the best, I hear.
You brought up the rain, Treasy, and I can remember a bar stool at the park. You were bringing this up, MSS, where there was, I don't know, there's got to be 600, 700, 800 people standing right on the lawn. There's a tent for a DJ and everything. And Dave, I think you had gone in the stadium to interview Whit Merrifield. I could be wrong about all the time. Okay? And it starts fucking pissing rain. And all the kids run under the DJ tent. And it's like me, MSS, and like NWI Steve just getting fucking poured.
Nick Clark.
Just getting poured on out there. It's like, fuck this. We're too old to crawl under that tent. We're going to be out here. We're going to get pissed on.
I was 100% wearing this exact shirt because we had just got the 108 shirts made, and we were giving them to people that are like, I want one. And you had a white one on.
I had a white one,
we could see your sweet-ass nipples.
My titties.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My titty balls.
You're nipped out. This is beautiful.
So that didn't stop us, Treasy. So fucking nothing is going to stop us. We're going to be out there in a prolonged tailgate. I mean, what could go wrong if the game's delayed like 2 hours and we could just drink our faces off for an extra 2 hours?
There you go. Yeah.
Not to mention, Buzz is in the comments right now.
Are you reading this?
Jacked up.
This is insane.
I'm ready. I'm
ready. Generator
blowing it out. Look at these comments. He's bringing a giant
sound system.
Sound system. Time to rage. I fucking love it, Buzz.
Who's gonna DJ? You got awesome. DJ Donnie Nani.
I feel like it should be Summer of George with the little squirrel, from the 108 tournament.
Hopefully, it made the trip with him. I don't know.
He better have brought it. If he doesn't bring that to Chicago, that's the biggest fail of the trip.
You can't travel with championship trophies, man. You don't know if they're going to get got at the tailgate.
No, he needs to bring someone with him with like the white gloves and the mullet, like they got for the Stanley Cup. Right. Like he needs those guys to bring the squirrel for him.
He needs a suitcase where it's like handcuffed to the guy.
Yeah,
like Lyman Serga had. It's 11. That's what he needs to be the handler of the squirrel for sure.
Yes.
Oh my God! All right, let's get into some actual baseball talk for just a moment. We'll get into this. So we haven't had the best patch of games in the past couple weeks here, or the past week, I would say. So the offense is struggling.
Yep.
I'm asking you guys, who needs to step up and pick up the slack here? Give me the player that you're looking at in the lineup that this guy needs to come through and really show some shit right now. My Sock Summer, you're raising your hand. You're first.
I'm ready. I'm thirsty.
Is this a guy on the team?
I think this guy he needs people to doubt him and to start calling him for his head out on social media before he starts like doing something. And that is one, reigning MVP, Jose Abreu. As soon as people start doubting him is when he turns it around and you go, where the fuck has this guy been? Like, why? This is why we signed him to this ridiculous contract. Because remember that signing a ridiculous contract, everyone's like, this is an overpay. There might be 2 people in this chat right now that said that. Not chat, actually on this screen. Okay, 3 people. 3 people said that. And they're like, this is a big, ridiculous overpay. This is ridiculous. Why are we doing this? And then he wins the fucking goddamn MVP.
Yep.
So now, they're coming back at him now. And they're saying, this guy sucks. We should trade. We get rid of him. He's over the hill. He's got to retire, blah, blah, blah. Now he's going to come in and bust fucking heads. It's time to get those hits, those lazy garbage hits that he's known for. And let's just get it moving. You keep padding those stats, Jose, all the way to the fucking Hall of Fame, motherfucker.
That's right. Excellent call, my Sock Summer. Absolutely.
One fucking soliloquy right there. This is and that was the only answer I think that is appropriate. My dream right now, and this is like a complete fucking on Mars dream, is that stadium, how they do the late light show, which is awesome, is a spectacle on social media. And that's why I want as many people there for as many games as possible. Jose Abreu has done nothing but lose his entire fucking life, since he's been in the States with the Sox since the last year, 60-game season, whatever, get rid of it. You don't think that stadium rocking is going to get his juices flowing where he just goes on that MVP tear?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
My entire reasoning, I'm like, as many games as possible, pack them all in. Let's fucking do this for them,
I fucking love that.
100%. He deserves it, Dave. He deserves it. He's played his fucking ass off for this team through a lot of losing seasons, like you mentioned. I mean, the guy deserves it, and I hope he starts to come up big, like my Sock Summer was saying. He just needs a little animosity, a little bit of pushing towards him, for sure.
I want a SEC football, you can hear the stadium fucking rumbling,
Yep.
Alabama or some shit.
Friday is gonna be that.
Dave is too.
Dave, tell me the guy you want to show up in the lineup.
I mean, like I said, I think Abreu's the best answer you can. But next, I'd say it's absolutely Yoel Moncada. I joke about it with the ban list, but people doubting him in 2019 are the reason why. Because I saw the fucking 199th percentile talent he has, from his physique to his speed to his power, his eye, and I get he's got the highest WAR on the team and 400 on base. He's better than that. He's fucking better than that.
There's another level. I agree, Dave. There's another level in there, baby.
Fucking go beat it in that next level, man. And when he does get out, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I get Southside White Sox blue collar assholes. They want emotion and they want anger. He's just a mellow, laid back guy. I would like to see him like get pissed off after he takes strike 3. You know?
Yeah.
See,
I don't know how he doesn't relate to the blue collar people because he loves Hooters in Maryville, Indiana. So it's just like, to me, that's blue collar all over it, man. The working man loves him some like good chicken wings. I mean, decent chicken wings and some titties. So like, Moncada's right there.
So I'm just gonna pile on top of what Dave said because I had Moncada too, and here's why I have Moncada because Moncada right now is probably an all-star.
Yeah.
He's high 700s OPS. He's playing a plus defense at third base. And this is beef early in the season when we were talking about Moncada and people, were where is this guy going to end up? And I was along this line of like, he's going to be a high 700s OPS guy. He's going to be a very good player, right? He's going to be a very good player. I'm wrong about everything. I never predict anything right. And right now I'm on this, which means that I'm wrong. So he's going to just blow this shit away. Like there's no other direction. He's going to be incredible. And if only to tell me that I'm a stupid ass and I fucked up and thought he was going to be like just a very good player, like totally worth it to me. I can't wait for Yohan to just to destroy me. And Beef, I will happily see him get up to like a 900 OPS, and then you have that picture of me with my shirt off. I'm all fucked up at the table. I'm actually talking to Dave in that picture.
You are in that picture.
And instead of the Mazzara prediction, it's going to be Yohan Moncada is a high 700s OPS player. That's going to be the new meme, and we're going to have it for years. Well, Moncada has Bryce Harper like years.
I hope that's the case.
I don't want to break the third wall, but I don't even think you're fucked up in that picture, Treasy. I think that was pre-soak.
No, that was
post-soak. It was definitely post-soak. Yeah, it was definitely post-soak. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because we were standing around before we were going to go to the. Yeah,
that was post-soak. That was shampoo effect hammered. I will say this. I was as drunk as I look. I have better tits that are in that picture. All right. That's just,
the eggs, the runny eggs. I don't know.
It was a bad angle. It was a bad angle.
I need to get another shirtless picture of you. Then I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
My B cups, chef's kiss.
I mean, I love Moncada as a choice. Plus, he has the sweetest left-handed swing, and I just love when he really fucking crushes a ball with that beautiful left-handed swing.
Oh.
And the Goose Island needs more White Sox home runs. I've been watching way too much fucking opponents' home runs soar in there, and not enough of our guys' home runs soar in there. So I need Yohan Moncada, man.
Yep.
I've really enjoyed the hurt on the broadcast the last 3 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because he is as smart a fucking hitter as there ever was in this game. And you talk about how, like, and this is what I've thought with Moncada his entire career. When he's at his best, he's working the opposite field. Same with Tim Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Both those guys are just fucking dead pull right now. And that's how you get yourself out. You try to pull ball in the outer half instead of fucking letting the ball travel and you barrel it right center gap, you know? But real quick, I'm on Moncada. I'm sorry. I'm like tangent right now. I wanted to say that here. But you know that fucking – and I hope we know – that 20-game stretch where he is hitting fucking bomb every, 10, 12 plate appearances, still getting on base at a 400 clip, sustainable BABIP, that's going to come eventually, I hope. And I hope like fucking at the end of September into the playoffs.
It's a great time for it, for sure.
Right? Because he has it in him. He has it in him. He has that next level. I don't care what his fucking F WAR is right now. It's 5th in the league or whatever. I don't care. Because it could be 1 in the league.
That's right. Yeah, he could be. Yeah, he could be
Ace.
Oh, Ace is in. Yes.
Show. He's like,
right.
He's like, hey, Dad, I gotta go shit.
He likes Moncada too.
He likes Moncada too.
I think he's good right now. He's just tired and wants to hang out.
Handsome, very handsome.
There you go.
There he is. Yes. Very handsome boy.
I'm glad Dave has pants on because that would have been great
I don't
for
know what he
ratings.
does.
I didn't see.
I just saw a blanket and a knee.
I did not see Hog. That's all I'll say. I didn't see Hog.
You didn't see Hog. No Hog to be seen. Right now.
Beef, who do you got?
All right, so
your guy that needs to pick up?
You guys took the people that I thought were kind of the obvious ones. Let me take a less obvious choice. I'll say that the player needs to pick up the slack isn't even here. They're not even amongst us yet. It is the player that the White Sox will end up trading for. The bat that they, or may potentially
literally
one bat, but one of the bats that they end up trading for is going to make a big difference here. So I guess my choice is really Rick Hahn. That's White Sox Dave's best friend, a guy who I've called a mediocre GM for about the length of we've been doing content, but he could put it over the top and stick it right in my fucking ear if he goes out and gets a bat that's a difference maker for this team. And I'm not saying they got to shop at the top of the market. Just get a productive bat to come in here, because really when you saw the Madrigal injury, in isolation, losing Nick Madrigal shouldn't be that big of a deal. But because the way it works, it's kind of nonlinear. You'd already had those losses, and you were holding it together with Nicky, and losing Nicky was just enough to make it dire to you. You just lost enough bats where it's like, oh, shit. Now all the main guys have got to be really good for this to work out. So I think where we're at is we just need that one more productive bat to come from outside the organization. So that's the person I'm waiting on. I don't know who that's going to be.
God. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that was perfect.
I like this one. He
was there, right? He was there checking
Frazier.
out. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it. You're talking about Adam Frazier, not Todd Frazier, right?
Yeah, no Blockfather. The Todd father. I think White Sox Dave could strike out Todd Frazier right now.
I would love to.
You got the spider tack, baby. You got your RPMs are up.
That's true. Got it. I actually might be doing a video with Dallas Braden and the A's for that. So
nice.
What he's supposed to call me now, actually.
Dallas Braden was incredible in Carlito's way, man. I really enjoyed him.
He's got a great look. I love it.
I mean, I see the shit with Dallas Braden, and obviously he's a former pro, but Dave, you guys doing shit with him. Like, this just makes me think that Pros vs. Joes needs to come back. I feel like that kind of shit just needs to come back. I love that show. That was a great show.
The Joes. Did you? What was that fucking stupid daytime MTV show? Bully Beatdown. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Give
us the lowdown on this.
They would go in MMA. They pick an MMA fighter, and they would go off school and pick out the bully and be like, "Hey, you think you're tough? Like, go fight this guy." I would always root for the bully every single.
It was one guy. It was like Jason something, right? Like he's a crazy
hair.
Yes, and I can't remember what his full name is, but he's nuts. Like he used to be on Stern a lot too. But I remember that was on MTV, right? Yeah, and they would bring him into the ring and they would fight this guy and he would just beat the shit out of these guys. Because put them in an arm bar, like most bullies are done.
Like I loved rooting against the pros in those shows. So yeah.
But I think we all used to do that too, watching American Gladiators. You'd root for the amateur to whoop the gladiator's ass.
I just can't wait to have Dallas Braden throw a softball to Big Mick, and Big Mick slams it right out of the park. And it's like, that's why I'm a Hall of Famer. And then he walks away.
Did you guys hear who my coaching staff is for that?
No.
Didn't hear that.
We're playing a baseball game out at the Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Bill Rayfield, he's my first base coach.
Oh, yes.
Got Aloha, Mr. Hand. He's going to be third base or dugout bullpen.
Nice. Yes.
And Jason
Hosking, yes.
Oh, my God.
God. What a fucking...
what Jason tells them to do.
I mean, I'm just going to, I'll be a tough leader. Let's say that.
Jason Hosking is kind of like Farmer Fran on the coaching staff. No one's gonna understand what he has to say.
if there was a guy on White Sox Twitter that I would say might have huge nipple rings, Jason is my guy. Jason's my guy.
I need him in overalls. At this game, 100%.
Strong. Movie when they'll be like, "Where's Farmer Fran?" And he's like fucking riding the mascot with the cheerleaders getting off.
I mean, that's not Jason. That's Jason, man. God damn it.
That's fucking Jason in a nutshell.
I love him. Wow.
Guess what, my Sox Summer? Guess what, buddy? It's time for that second ad read. Let's see how you do.
Let's do it. I'm only 2 beers in. Hey, it's the My Sox Summer Package. Head over to our shop and hook yourself up with the My Sock Summer Package, a hat and a tank top shipped to your door for only $35. Get right for the summer with a dope tank top and a trucker hat featuring the very colorful and geometric awesomeness of the From the 108 logo in 90s style. Guaranteed to make your day 100% better when you wear it, and if it doesn't, Beef Loaf will buy you a beer. So go to FromThe108.com, click on the merch shop, and order one up. Sizes are limited, so order today.
All right.
That was much better than I was expecting.
I thought you were gonna like swear or cry or something.
No.
Like I felt like it was gonna go all over the place.
We got to it too soon, you think, Treasy? We should have held it off a little while longer. Let them get one more beer deep, and then
this is only the second beer on camera, but one was an 8%. So I'm just trying to enjoy this good kettle.
So we sent out the agenda a few days ago, and we said, hey, and here's the My Suck Summer. Here's what we're thinking. And the last thing we're going to talk about is some trades. And so we gave everyone time to think about that. And then we told Dave, I think it was like yesterday, hey, here's the agenda. Last thing is all these trades we're going to come up with. Dave and My Suck Summer have no trades. They have zero trades that they want to talk about. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this a little bit differently.
I mean,
me and Beef Loaf are going to tell you about all the trades that we would make, because if we're anything, Beef, we're pragmatic.
Oh,
we're not trading for the best guys on the market.
No.
We're going to go after some guys we think we can get. Right? We think that the Sox have either the prospect capital or just general capital to say let's take these guys, let's take these bums in. And so
it's funny, Tracy, it's funny you phrase it like that, because I wrote a blog the other day just talking about the trade deadline in general, and it wasn't any specific deals or anything like that. And Alex Rude DMs me. He goes, it's really underrated how bad the Sox farm system is for the guys that aren't in the majors. Like, that's true. So that really went into my brain for these trades that we're going to talk about a little bit.
You'll be like, cool. So who can we trade for Blake Rutherford and Cody Medeiros? If Cody Medeiros is still a thing.
We're working in this area. So actually the first guy I'm going to go through, I think he might feel overpriced, but he's not that good. So, but we're gonna go kind of position by position here, and we're gonna go second base, corner, outfield, relief pitcher, and then a potpourri category. Yep. And me and
I was like, what's that mean?
Me and Beef are each gonna give a player, and then you guys, Dave, My Sock Summer, you critique it. You tell us how fucked up our idea is and why it's stupid. So
okay,
or if it's great, it might be great, Teresa. Your idea could be great.
So let's start with second base. And I'll go first because I'll get run through the ringer first. So the guy that I'm looking at, I think that a lot of people are looking at Adam Frazier, and I get it. And then there's some other guys out there that for sure that are good gets, and if you could get them, great. You got to look at the Colorado Rockies, because the Colorado Rockies, they're terrible. They're just an awful team. They kind of have a GM. So you got to think like, okay, well, what are they looking to do? This guy I'm going to tell you about, he has a couple ARB years left, but he's already making like $2.5 million in that arena. He's not a great second baseman. He's probably better at third.
Okay.
But he can hit. Now we're going to pretend that he doesn't have horrible home versus away splits. And
now,
that
for Colorado players, we can ignore that a little bit because they write themselves when they get out of there.
Something like that. A
little bit.
But these are pretty bad. But Ryan McMahon. Ooh. So Ryan McMahon can fake a second base. He could play it. He's fine. He's basically a mediocre second baseman. But he's lefty. He can hit lefties as well, though, in addition to hitting righties. But he's a decent second baseman. He's a guy that could come in and be better than anything we're putting at second base immediately. And he probably isn't that expensive because the Rockies are not going to want to continue to up the price on this guy over the next 2 years when he's kind of just a utility infield type guy who's got a little pop when he's in Colorado. And so I think that this is the kind of guy that you could insert into the lineup, have another lefty bat, have a goodish second baseman, and you could play him every day. It's a guy you could play every day at second base. He's not going to be as good as Nick Madrigal, and I'm not the hugest Nick Madrigal fan. He's less than Nick Madrigal, but he's going to have a couple games where he hits an important home run, or he gets that double that you want.
Yep.
That's the kind of guy I think you could get. I don't think he's going to be expensive, and it's in that range of what we're looking at.
So who are you trading?
Yeah, who you trading?
So I took as a bar for all of these, if I could trade a package that starts with Matthew Thompson and then some other lesser prospects, I think you could do that here. I think this is probably of all the ones I have where this is going to be the toughest trade to make with a guy like that, because Matthew Thompson's our like third ranked prospect, but he's not that great. He's kind of a wild card. He's kind of a lottery ticket type of guy. But I think you could do a package with him and make that work.
Hey, I'm looking at stats. I mean, I don't see why. I don't see why not.
The problem with the stats is, like, if you look at his home and away splits, they are drastically different.
Like, do you think I understand that though? That's the biggest
so
question.
Here's what I'm saying, my suck summer. When he's playing in Colorado, he hits very well.
Yeah, because
when
everybody
he's playing in let's say Los Angeles, he's kind of average-ish.
Okay. We can take average though. Like I feel like we could take average.
Right. We're throwing a lot of below average out there. So let's take average.
Trying to upgrade.
So
Got the
what do you
quality.
got, Loaf? Let me see. Who do you got for second base? And then we'll compare and contrast.
You want to
these two.
compare the two deals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good
let's
idea.
see.
So I like that. So I actually like Terezi's choice. My choice is going to be going a little bit different direction. Everyone is very horny for Adam Frazier. And, I'm a little nervous about Adam Frazier because he's having the career year, and I don't know, his price seems to be going up and up. And I thought, you know what? Let's find a guy who's kind of almost exactly like Adam Frazier, but you don't even know who the fuck he is. And so you wouldn't even think about trading for him. And also, he's on a fucking contending team. But this contending team is happy to trade players at any time, especially when they're starting to get more expensive. And that player is Joey Wendell from the Rays. Okay? The Rays are fucking stacked up the middle. They just brought up Wander Franco. They have Taylor Walls, who they brought up at shortstop because they traded Willie Adames to Milwaukee because they don't even need him. And then they have Vidal Brujan, who's another middle infield prospect. They're stacked in the middle. Joey Wendell's 31. He's going to be going into ARB year 2 next year. So he might even be too expensive for the Rays by next year. They might be ready to get rid of his fucking ass, right? So my thought is, here's a guy who is and not to mention they've got Brandon Lau there too, who's also a second baseman by trade. They've been playing in the outfield. They have too much middle infield. This guy's actually been playing third base for them. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is, the guy has for a career his WRC plus against right-handed pitching is 116. This year's 165. He's absolutely fucking smashing right-handed pitching. He could play a corner outfield in a pinch if you need him. So he's kind of the same profile as Adam Frazier. The Rays are probably going to win this trade, so I'm going to say we're going to throw a bunch of teenagers at them. I think they would want something like Jose Rodriguez, and then either one of James Beard or Brian Ramos, and then probably another lesser prospect or some sort of optionality of cash there. But I think Joey Wendell is kind of like Adam Frazier light. No one wants the prospect over like 24 years old. No one gives a fuck about those guys. Yermin Mercedes is 10,000 years old. Everyone has a Yermin Mercedes who's 28 and can only hit and do nothing else.
They wanted him before the season, though. Maybe we should just give him to him. We'll throw him right there on top.
So what do you think? You got the comparison.
Man.
I got to say, I absolutely fucking love it. That was awesome. I think that would be a fucking perfect fit. You said he's at ARB 2. Is he super or no?
That I don't know. Yeah, I know he's already in his ARB years, but he is 31 also, so it's kind of a weird situation. Like, he's probably kind of peaking or at the peak or almost done with his peak. So
that's fine. He's a fucking good ball player. He's a really good ball player. And like you said, it's going to be all these guys that aren't helping the Sox win 3 years from now. It's going to be helping these, like, just continue that flood line, which is how they operate. I think it sounds perfect. Perfect.
I'll say this, as a guy that doesn't understand a lot of advanced stats, the way you sold it, Loaf, was a lot better than Chirizi, so I'm also going with Loaf. Loaf wins second base.
I don't mind the Ryan McMahon idea either, but like Joey Wendell would be a masterful fit.
Yeah, I think the way it works, Treasy, is like Ryan McMahon would be cheaper in trade capital. Like I think Joey Wendell, like what Dave was saying, these guys who you would be trading are teenagers. They're not going to help you. Now, will the Rays probably end up winning a trade like that? Yeah, probably, because one of them will pan out and become a real guy and be a regular all the time. But that
you mentioned, Beef, was Ramos and who's the other one?
Jose Rodriguez. Yeah,
I've watched them. They're awesome. Like I think they're going to be major league players.
Yeah, they'll be guys, but they're 19 years old, so they're a long ways away. Like you said, they can't help this team. This team needs reinforcements right now. We got the studs today.
To win. Yep. And that's what's going to come down with the Sox too. How serious are the Sox about wanting to do this? And this is what they've told us for years that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this fucking moment. Not only are we there, we also have lost a shitload of players. We saved the money. We have the money, and we don't have a good fucking excuse like, oh, well, Eloy will just hit later. Like, he's not hitting. Like, he's not there. So it's like we should spend this fucking money that we saved and fucking go out and get this team and win this fucking goddamn division, go in the playoffs, and start whipping some ass.
That's right.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Fuck the league. That's what we got to do.
Yeah. Scare the league.
So, all right. So, next up is corner outfield. And I'll go first because I have a vomit-inducing idea. So I think if I were like, hey, who could I get out there off a shitty team? I would take Starling Marte, right? Like that's the guy you want, right? Other than when he's shooting rats to the moon on a bottle.
What the hell was that?
That was something else. Dave, did you see that video?
Yeah, I mean, rats are vermin, but that's a little fucked up.
Yeah,
it's the same way I thought about it. I was like, rats are disgusting, but I don't want to see this.
Well, the thing is, like, all I could think is like, rats are disgusting, and I don't want rats around. But at the same time, someone scooped that fucking thing up with their bare hands and then tied it up. Like, I don't want the person that does that around really either. But so I was looking at. Let's look at the corner outfield, and let's look at some guys that we might be able to attain cheaply. And oh man, I saw this guy, and everyone's gonna hate this, but it makes sense because he's a lefty. He only hits right-handed pitching. He can't hit left-handed pitching. He only hits right-handed pitching. He can play the corner outfield. He will pretend he can play center field. He can't. And that is Tyler Naquin. So he's currently with the Reds. He's on a 1-year contract, like $1 million contract.
Yeah.
The Reds just need to stop pretending like they're going to make the run like they did last year. They got Tyler Naquin in fucking center field. They're not gonna, right? And so what they should do, what the Reds should do, is get rid of Naquin for anything you could get. Give him like a James Beard or something that's a wild card, like super fast. They like super fast guys there. You know that. So give them that, and then put Shogo in center so that he could get reps and start to get better, right? So that's what the Reds need to do. For the Sox, this is kind of what you were expecting Adam Eaton to be, a guy who could play a good right field, like above average right field, and hit right-handed pitching. That's all you want this guy to do, and it should be super cheap. And I think that's why I'd look at this guy. I looked at it and I was like, this makes sense, and I hate it. But it makes sense.
That really is one of those trades, Treasy. They should just do, even if they don't have the intention of that player starting. Because why the fuck not? It would be so cheap and add another lefty bat,
Mm-hmm. I don't hate it because of that reason alone, personally.
Yeah, the cost is so
low.
They
don't have to just do this, right? Like this could be a trade and other trades because you're not going to give up much capital to do this.
Yeah, it would be cheap to get them for sure.
Who you got in the corner outfield?
I fucking love your idea. Okay, so in the corner outfield, I was kind of leaning back and forth. I need to make a decision between two. I had one guy who can kind of fake center field and can kind of play all the outfield positions. Not much of a hitter. And then I had another guy who was a hitter who really is probably a DH, but he can play the corner outfield. So I'm going to go with that guy. And that guy currently resides in Detroit, and he was extremely cheap in the offseason. I really wanted the White Sox to grab this guy just as kind of an extra outfielder, and that's Robbie Grossman. I think Robbie Grossman, they owe half of his $5 million for this year, and then $5 million more next year. But he's the kind of like, when you're looking at some of these trades, you have to also think of, in a perfect world, next year you've got Eloy healthy, you've got Robert healthy, you've got Andrew Vaughn healthy. So you don't necessarily need a person that's going to be the full-time player, a person that could slide into a role, kind of help you out off the bench. They're still going to get 450 plate appearances next year. Mm-hmm. And to me, Robbie Grossman's a guy who could get for almost nothing. The Tigers are going nowhere, and they have no hitting prospects. So what I would do, and their pitching prospects are more advanced. These guys are kind of in the majors already, right? I mean, the Matt Mannings and the Scrubbles and all these guys. So I would offer them a couple of our corner outfielders in return. I'd offer Micker Adolfo, and then their choice of any of the kind of older outfielders that they might want, Sheets or Rutherford or Luis Gonzalez or whatever.
Hey, look, man, they picked up Mazzara. They would be all over Adolfo, right? I mean, come on.
Why wouldn't you get they're the type of team because Adolfo's situation, he's smashing in AA right now. He's hitting for a shit ton of power, but he's out of options. So whoever's going to want him, next year he's have no options. Whoever's going to take him has to bring him up to the majors and have to give plate appearances. And the Tigers still fucking stink, especially on the offensive side. They're one of the handful of teams that could do it. Could say, okay, we'll jump the market here and we'll go get this guy and we'll get rid of Robbie Grossman's $5 million for next year. So to me, it makes sense for both teams. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, is there a reason that we can't do both?
No,
there's not.
No.
I mean, I don't want to say that we're, no one's going to get hurt again, because it probably will happen. So why not have two? Let's get two more outfielders. We have one guy out there that shouldn't even be playing outfield.
If you made both of those trades today, you'd put Robbie Grossman probably in left and Naquin in right immediately, and have, I don't know, Goodwin or someone in center. And
what you would do is you promote Mercedes and you DH Vaughn.
And you DH Vaughn.
Yeah.
That lineup, I like that lineup.
Yeah, I do too.
You're playing righties almost all the time. So
it's not horrific.
At least in the meantime, while you're waiting for the guys to come back, you got kind of a stable lineup.
Sure. With how good the pitching's been, you got to take that into account.
Right.
You only need an average offense, and you're going to win most games.
You would hope
exactly.
So.
Yes, the starting pitcher's been amazing.
And you know what's great about these motherfuckers is you put those guys in the lineup, and then the good guys come back. No one's going, how are we going to find Robbie Grossman time? Fuck that guy. He's on the bench. He's on the bench. He's destined for the bench when people come back. I love that kind of thing.
Exactly right.
All right.
Good job, fellas.
Yeah, great job.
I don't like you guys saying great job. I said Tyler Naquin. Come on, guys.
Everyone seems to like it in the chat too.
Yeah, the chat kind of likes Tyler Naquin too.
It's not that bad. See, so maybe you don't read yourself very well.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a bad player for the next.
All right, let's do it.
So we're going to go to relief pitching now. And so here's the thing with relief pitching. You're going to overpay for the guy who's having the out of his lifetime career year, right? Like the guy who's just the Neil Kotz year is expensive, right? So what I looked for was someone who's kind of still being mediocre and is overpaid. And I found the guy. Oh boy, I found the guy. Raisel Iglesias. He's getting $9 million from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim County, something or other.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, he's got a 4-something ERA. He's getting all that money, and that team's at the bottom of their division. The Rangers are there, so not quite the bottom, but they're towards the bottom of their division. And it's one of those guys where it's what are they doing with this guy? Why are they paying this guy money? They should just stop paying this guy money. And that's where the Sox come in. The Sox should pay this guy the rest of his money and give fucking nothing in return. Manny Ramirez deal. We will give you this envelope full of nothing. But we'll pay for this guy to be here because you don't want him anymore.
Oh, we could give him Alec Hansen.
Yes, I'm in on that trade. I'm in on that trade.
Hey, I'm looking at his numbers right now. He's got the 4.02 ERA, but at a glance, everything says it's supposed to be way lower than that, and he's had some filthy fucking years.
Yes.
Right, and that's what I'm looking at. He has been a top-end closer. When he was in Cincinnati, he was a great closer. Ethan Katz can look at that tape and go, "You're doing this wrong.
Yep.
Fix this shit." If Ethan Katz is worth what we all think he's worth, I think we all agree on this group that Ethan Katz could look at the tape of Raisel Iglesias and go, "You know what? He's got to make this tweak." And now he's this 2-ish ERA guy who's going to be the 7th or 8th inning guy. Fucking love it. And the Angels might be willing to just give this guy away I don't think we'll give him nothing, but we could give a couple prospects, take on that money. The Angels will be happy to get rid of that money on a year that Mike Trout's hurt and they're at the bottom of the division. So go after this guy. That's my guy. Beef, who do you got in the relief role?
You actually sounded convicted right there.
Yeah, that was tremendous. I love that choice actually, and I feel like I've gotten crushed this round, even though I thought I did pretty well the last 2 rounds. My guy has been my guy from early in the season. That's Ian Kennedy from Texas. He's been their closer. He's been very good. He's been dependable. 36 years old. Again, Treasy, we both are looking at it from, we don't want the reliever we're going to have to pay the biggest premium. We want a guy who's going to be effective because we don't need a closer. What we need is like the setup guy kind of spot. We need the 8th, 7th, 8th inning guy, but it's nice to have a closer in that spot because if we get in the dog days of summer and Hendricks needs the day off, it's nice to slide that guy in there and have a guy who knows how to close, who's been in the spot before, and you don't have to depend on Aaron Bummer or my guy Cody Hua to take care of business there. So I really think you could probably toss them, because he was a non-roster invitee, he's not making a lot of money, you could probably toss them like a Yolbert Sanchez and call it a day. I mean, you could just toss them an older prospect who's got a chance to get to the majors and be maybe be like the 4th infielder or something like that. I mean, sorry, the 5th infielder, whatever. That'd be good enough for them. And they would have made out nicely on a deal like that.
I'm sold. I mean, you guys were telling me to shit on these. These are like all. I'm in.
Let's do them all. Let's do all of them.
See, that's the path I was going though, right? Like, how could we do all of these? How could we like get all of these? Because I think you might have the prospect capital to actually do all of this.
Yeah,
that was the way I was trying to approach it.
Yeah.
So the last one we did was a potpourri. So I'm excited to hear Beef Loafs. I'll do mine real quick because I think mine is a fairly straightforward idea here. And this is if we are saying like, let's send Yermin down and let's let him figure it out in the minors. How do you replace that kind of bat? And the guy that I looked at that is an easy replacement for him, also right-handed hitting, but can hit right-handers. He's got like the 760-ish OPS against right-handers in his career. Is from Colorado. You got to go to Colorado because it's cheap.
That's where they're all at.
CJ Cron. So CJ Cron's a guy who's gonna he's gonna get you some home runs, man. He's definitely gonna get you some home runs. He can hit right-handed pitching, so you could leave him in the lineup every day at DH. Yep. And then if it's lefties though, oh my God, don't put a lefty against this guy. Like if you wanted to like really double down on beating the shit out of left-handed pitchers, CJ Cron. You bring this guy in and like that fucking lineup against lefties is just devastating. But against righties, he's helpful, right? He's a guy who can hit right-handed pitching even from the right side. So again, probably cheap too. So this is my potpourri guy. This is a guy who's gonna just kind of backfill the DH position, which we've been terrible at backfilling. So I don't see it being a problem to say let's try and get a DH.
Save for Yerman's April. It's been awful for like the last decade, basically at DH. No, I love that choice. The only spot you get into a little redundancy is because he doesn't really have a position. He's a DH first base. He's never going to play first base with Abreu here. And if Abreu has a night off, Vaughn's going to play first. So you kind of only have temporary DH guy. But you're right. It's a nice, like all playoff teams end up with having a nice bat off the bench that they can just use in a spot late in the game. And that would be like that guy, right? even if he doesn't have a position, he'd be on the playoff roster. You're just going to be the bench bat that hits at the end of the game when we need a guy in the spot. So I like that idea.
Yeah, he's a first baseman like you're our ad read guy.
Right, yes, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't even own a first base glove. He got to borrow the real first baseman glove when he goes in there. The guy I was thinking a little bit differently on this, Treasy. I was thinking a little more defensively, which I kind of didn't do because, but the Sox defense has been struggling a little bit. And this is not a knock on the guy in the current position because I think he's doing okay. He's been improving. He's getting better at this. But I think we could add a little length to the roster if we added a guy like Tucker Barnhart from Cincinnati as a backup catcher. Okay, because I do too. I'm a big fan. And he's a lefty hitter. He's not a great overall hitter, but he does hit right-handed pitching. He'd be your second catcher. And what we'd do is like he's a good framer, so he kind of does all the good catcher stuff correctly. It would give you the latitude to DH Grandal, DH Collins in spots where it's advantageous for each of them. Right now, I think like you want to see Tony put them in the lineup when there's spots that work for them. But because Yerman's not really a catcher, they can't do it. But if you put Tucker Barnhart in that spot and let's say you demoted Yerman, then when you have the righty out there, you can go with Collins as a DH in some of those spots, right? Because you put the lefty bat in there, and vice versa with the left-handed pitchers. If you want to have Barnhart in there, he's a good defender, so fuck his bat, don't worry about it. But you can DH Grandal and not worry about it because you got the extra catcher on the bench. So I was kind of thinking like, Tyler Naquin and Tucker Barnhart package deal, and I don't think either one of them cost anything. I mean, Barnhart's he has a team option next year for $7.5 million. I don't know if that gets picked up. I mean, he's a good enough catcher to be a starting catcher. He'd be 30 years old. I'm not sure. So this is like you can trade them a lottery ticket, like Bailey Horn or some college pitcher who's killing a low level, who you're not sure if they'll become something. And since he might want to take a shot on them, since he has what do they call it, Spincinnati, because they got what's his name, Kyle Bodie. Who works for them now. He's the driveline guy. So maybe they might want to take a shot on some lower end pitcher and trade a Tucker Barnhart. And I think the Sox would benefit greatly from having that defense behind the plate.
He is an awesome defensive catcher. And I've never once looked up his like Fangraphs page or anything, but like as someone who was around that position a lot, he is as good as it fucking gets. He is and like you said, that solves DH, another perfect call. And like the chat said, fucking package deal. Perfect. Boom.
Yeah, bring them both. Bring them together,
Thank you, Jack.
Well, what was it, James Beard and what was it, Andrew Horn for that package deal?
Oh, Bailey Horn. Yeah, that's nice and cheap, right? That seems like affordable.
Bailey Horn sounds like a porn star too, so I'm just saying. It's got porn all over it. I'm getting semi turned on right now.
Could be either person in it too. Like if you told me that was male or female, I'd be like,
you have no idea.
Porn name. That's a good porn name either way.
Yep.
Who knows?
100%.
We're coming to the end of the show, but I did want to kind of just
check in on the poll.
Yeah, you got to check in.
We got to check in on the poll and see right now. How it's going. Tight. My Sox Summer. Let us know where we're at.
I'm gonna refresh just to make sure. You were losing, but let's see.
I'm not losing. Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff are losing.
Yeah, you're losing. I have Summertime with Will Smith with 24%, Regulate with 25%. I got Schools Out with 21%, and California with 29.2%.
Wow.
Y'all can suck it.
Yeah, yes, California Love is winning. Oh. 30 minutes left in the poll.
Yeah.
Still 30 minutes left. Anyone could win. I mean,
there is 30 minutes left of the poll, so we'll see what happens.
So I guess California knows how to party. I mean,
California knows how to party.
How dare you?
That is 100%
How
true.
Dare you?
That's what I'm hearing.
So
I do want to.
I'm unaware if my wife knows that we're recording a live show. She's talking to me, going over me, reaching over me.
I hope she punches you in the face live on the show.
You voted?
Hit him.
Yes.
Oh, she's drunk. I think
hit him.
She said she wants to hit. He said you should hit me.
That'd be great TV.
She's not gonna hit me. It's country music night tonight or tomorrow night, so she'll be at the actual game tomorrow night.
Well,
So sitting next to Pete Hand, though, not by me. Yeah.
Let her see.
I'm kidding.
Fellas, Dave, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So it was great having you as always. I'm glad that you were able to ingest something to enjoy this as well. And I just want to just reiterate that there are tickets on sale for these games that Dave has hooked us up with some awesome prices. So make sure to go out and get those. I'm going to put them in the comments one more time.
Oh, do it
right now. And so get these goddamn tickets because it's a fucking awesome deal. So there go the tickets. Go get those.
Booyah.
And then we will see you tomorrow at the game. We'll see everyone at the game tomorrow. Remember to use the app to get your beers because there's probably not going to be vendors.
Don't
Saturday
do that.
though. Saturday is the big day.
So what time on Saturday? Are we in there like 11 a.m. or some shit like that?
I assume Buzz is driving through the fucking gates to get in there, and then we'll be in there.
Wonderful.
He's got a blowtorch and everything.
He's probably there now.
He's there now.
Exactly. Might be.
So we'll be in there on Saturday. Saturday is going to be the big blowout. Sunday soak. First Sunday soak after us sitting in our seats all weekend. It will be a disaster. I can't wait for it. I'm going to look like fresh dog shit. So please, everyone, come out to the games all weekend if you can. If you cannot, watch the games, hit us up on Twitter. We'll still be tweeting. What are we going to do? What are we going to do during the breaks between innings? What are we going to go to the bathroom? No, we're going to piss ourselves. We got catheters now. So
I don't want a catheter.
So enjoy the weekend, everybody. We will talk to you very soon.
I don't want
Dave,
one.
Thank you very much for joining us. And we will see
guys
you all.
Thanks, Dave. Peace.
Have some good sleep, Dave. You need it.
Sleep,
you
buddy.
deserve it.
We'll see.
Thanks, everyone.
Keep me up all night, asshole.